3 years since Alexis Ware was last seen driving away from a 7-Eleven in Anderson County.
We know that some of our local municipalities do not have the resources to conduct a thorough investigation.
And nothing has changed from the first day of her disappearance. We're just hoping for some closure.
Alexis Ware was a 29-year-old social media influencer. She had a significant online presence and a large clientele from multiple states. Alexis was also a devoted mother of 2 children. She had plans to move to the Atlanta, Georgia area to set up a boutique and had already purchased stock for it. On January 30th, 2022, Alexis met with the father of her children, TJ Patterson, at a 7-Eleven store to drop off their 2 kids. Surveillance footage showed no signs of trouble during this meeting. The plan was for Alexis to follow TJ back to his mother's home, but she never arrived. TJ stated that at a red light, Alexis drove around him and sped away. When he tried to call her, she didn't answer, and she hasn't been heard from since. In the days leading up to her disappearance, Alexis seemed troubled. She had been receiving unwanted phone calls from someone she didn't want to speak to, though she never revealed who the caller was. She also mentioned that someone driving a black truck had been following her for weeks. The day before she vanished, Alexis was crying about her upcoming 30th birthday, expressing fear that something would happen to her and she wouldn't survive to see it. She normally planned her birthday celebrations months in advance, but that year, she wasn't making any special plans. Cellular phone records indicate that Alexis's phone last pinged at 8:15 p.m., 30 miles away from where she dropped her children off. Highway cameras later showed her car in Augusta, Georgia, and then driving back into South Carolina. Alexis had an upcoming appointment at the state lottery office in Augusta, but she never showed up. Her red 2019 Honda Accord was found abandoned on a rural road in McCormick, South Carolina, on February 2nd. The car was covered in mud, and inside was Alexis's phone, keys, purse, identification, and a bag of clothing. Her black hair bonnet, which she was wearing at the time of her disappearance, was found lying on the ground next to the car. The area where the car was found is known for deer hunting activity, but there was no clear reason why Alexis would have gone there, and it was in the opposite direction of her intended travel destination. Alexis's family believes she may have been abducted, as it was uncharacteristic of her to leave without warning or to abandon her children. Her mother, Alberta Grace Simpkins, recalls that Alexis had told her she didn't feel like she would see her 30th birthday and seemed afraid of something or someone. Alberta also found it strange that Alexis never mentioned any plans to meet up with TJ to drop the children off, and only learned about it from TJ after Alexis disappeared. Alexis's brother, Travis Ware, has expressed suspicion about the gas station meetup and believes TJ knows more than he's telling. Investigators gathered clues about her. The last known sighting of Alexis was captured by surveillance cameras at the gas station. She was seen driving away alone with no signs of distress. Cellular records indicated that Alexis's phone last pinged at 8:15 p.m., approximately 30 miles away from the gas station. Alexis's red 2019 Honda Accord was found abandoned on a rural road in McCormick County, near the Georgia state line, on February 2nd, 2022. Alexis's family has been deeply affected by her disappearance. Her mother described feeling left in limbo and has expressed her constant longing for answers. Alexis's brother has also shared his struggle to accept the reality of her disappearance, likening it to a nightmare from which he hopes to wake up. Alexis Ware was a loving and devoted mother to her 2 children. Her days were filled with laughter, love, and the joy of watching her children grow. According to her brother Travis, everything she did was for her children. Alexis cherished every moment she spent with them, and her family described her as a doting mother who was deeply involved in her children's lives. Growing up, Alexis developed a passion for fashion and beauty. She loved experimenting with makeup and hairstyles, often practicing on her friends and family. This passion eventually led her to pursue a career as a hairstylist. Alexis's talent and dedication quickly earned her a large clientele, and she became a rising influencer on social media. Her social media presence allowed her to share her work and connect with a broader audience, further fueling her career. In an effort to bring attention to Alexis's case and potentially aid in similar missing persons cases, her family has proposed the Alexis Ware Act. This legislation would allow families of missing persons to request direct assistance from the South Carolina Law Enforcement Division if they feel their case is stalled. Currently, SLED can only become involved if invited by the investigating department. The bill was presented to the Greenville County Legislative Delegation on January 28, 2025, but it has yet to be sponsored by any lawmaker, meaning it cannot move forward to become law. Community activist Bruce Wilson, who has been working closely with Alexis's family, emphasized the need for state resources and support in such cases. The community has rallied around Alexis's family, offering support and participating in search efforts. Despite these efforts, Alexis remains missing. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office has stated that their detectives are immensely invested in the case and that SLED and other agencies are aware of the case's elements. However, the family has expressed frustration with the lack of meaningful communication from the investigators. Later that month, Dateline featured Alexis Ware's story in their Missing in America series. Alexis's brother, Travis, told Dateline, "I know my sister is missing, but I can't bring myself to accept that she's truly gone. And that's the hardest part for me, because I feel like I'm in a nightmare. I'm waiting to wake up from this nightmare." Alexis's mother also shared her anguish, saying, "I miss my child every day. I keep asking God to send me a clue. Help me. Sometimes I sit in the car by myself, away from the kids, and I just have my moments, just racking my brains trying to figure out what happened. What do I need to do? Show me. Guide me." She sat here and cried. "She wasn't telling me exactly what was going on," Alberta said. "It's like she knew something was going on. She felt like something was going to happen to her." Several questions remain unanswered. How did the car get to McCormick? What did the police find inside the car? Where could Alexis be at this hour? Travis Ware shared that Alexis had been troubled in the weeks leading up to her disappearance. She had expressed fears about her safety. This concern was further highlighted by a series of concerning Facebook posts she made, which have left her family and friends puzzled. Travis is still baffled by what happened on January 30th, 2022. When Alexis didn't return home and her phone went straight to voicemail, her family became increasingly worried. A missing person report was filed with the Anderson County Sheriff's Office on February 1st. The family and law enforcement were left with more questions than answers as each day passed without any new leads. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office, along with other agencies, conducted an extensive search for Alexis. They used air support, K-9 units, and search and rescue teams to comb through the area where her car was found. Despite these efforts, Alexis remains missing. The family has also been conducting their own searches, distributing flyers and using media platforms to raise awareness. Sergeant J.T. Foster with the Anderson County Sheriff's Office stated that they have collected extensive evidence in the case of Alexis Ware's disappearance. This includes cell phone records and GPS data, which are crucial for tracing Alexis's movements on the day she vanished. The investigative team has also interviewed family members, friends, and associates to gather more information and leads. Despite these efforts, Alexis's whereabouts remain unknown, and the case continues to puzzle both investigators and her loved ones. The Anderson County Sheriff's Office, along with Alexis's family, has urged the public to be vigilant. However, despite widespread appeals and the passage of time, Alexis has not been found, and it seems as if she vanished into thin air. The family and friends of Alexis Ware have been actively involved in the search efforts. They have put up billboards and distributed flyers to raise awareness and gather information. Her brother has expressed hope that the proposed bill will not only help in Alexis's case, but also provide justice for other missing persons. As the case approaches its third anniversary, Alexis Ware's family continues to appeal for any information that might lead to her whereabouts. They urge anyone with knowledge about her disappearance to contact the Anderson County Sheriff's Office at 864-260-4405 or submit information through Crime Stoppers at 1-888 Crime SC. The story of Alexis Ware's disappearance is a poignant reminder of the impact that unresolved cases have on families and communities. Her family's advocacy for legislative change reflects their determination to seek justice and answers, not only for Alexis but for all families affected by missing persons cases.